Welcome to Butterflies with Wisdom, everyone. And I know this is an international show. I know that by now because my guest this afternoon is calling in from Australia, of all places. And she just told me it's 6 a.m. Friday morning. So, Nikki, wake-up call for you to do an interview with me. But I'm going to be speaking to Nikki about the self-development industry because that's her passion. She's an author, she's a coach, she's a director of a foundation and all that good stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to let Miss Nikki take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm so pleased to be here.
Well, I'm super happy to have you. And could you please explain to my audience more of what you do and about you?
Certainly. I am the director of an online personal development business called Inspired Living International, which provides online courses and live events, helping people to be the best version of themselves. I'm a life coach, a business coach, and I generally just love helping people. And on the side, in addition to that, I also happen to be an author, and my book is called Positivity Think, How to Thrive, Not Just Survive.
Well, I might need to pick up a copy of your book and hand it to a friend of mine because I'm going through a situation with this friend, and I won't get into it publicly, but yeah, I think she needs a copy of your book. Positively Think, not just surviving, but doing positively. I mean, she sent to me via text message, and I will tell you this publicly. She goes, "You're rude because you don't understand that I need a true venting conversation, and my attitude is to keep on the sunny side." So that being said, when people have bad days, Nikki, like this individual I'm dealing with, what do you tell them? I mean, I can understand bad days every once in a while when all humans, including myself, have the bad days, but complaining day in, day out about not being positive about your life and not being happy about your life and just complaining to me, another disabled person, and people are not going to want to hang out with you or not want to be around you and not want to sit by a phone with you as you complain. So what do you tell people when they get into that woe is me, poor me, listen to me, you're being rude?
That's the thing. You touched on it. We're all human. We all have bad days. Even the most positive people still have their down moments because it's impossible to be positive and happy 100% of the time. The thing is that like attracts like, and as positivity spreads, negativity does too. So the more you get into the poor me, looking at the glass as half empty, not half full, this is my life, nothing's going to change, I'm miserable, I never win, I never come out on top. When you're in that mindset, you dig yourself into a deeper hole, and your words become the reality. So you're speaking things into reality. So if you're saying, I'm going to have another bad day today, what's the point of getting up out of bed because it's going to be a horrible day, then it's like the movie The Secret. You're putting it out there into the universe. So if you're saying, I'm going to have a bad day, then you're going to have a bad day. You've already decided the outcome. So you've decided that no matter what happens, you're going to look at all the bad things that happened that day, not, wow, I actually got to see someone that I haven't seen for ages. Wow, the sun is shining. Wow, I live in such a wonderful country, and I'm truly blessed. And yes, I have limitations and think, I don't have a perfect life, but who does have a perfect life? It's all about your mindset. And when you're having a bad day or you're going through a difficult circumstance or a challenging situation, as hard as it is, that's the time when you really need to try and be positive, to lift your spirits and think, you know what, this isn't going to get me down. I've been down about this for a week. I've been upset. I've been cranky. Life's too short. I've decided I'm not going to let that get me down. Yes, this has happened. I'm going to do something to make myself feel good. I'm going to go and sit in the sunshine. I'm going to go and talk to someone that I know is inspiring, is happy, is positive, and I'm hoping some of that will rub off on me. So you really need to somehow try to build your resilience and open the possibility to seeing what's good and seeing what you do have rather than what you don't. You will still have down days or down moments, but only live in that space of negativity, of being poor me, this has happened to me again. Only be in that headspace or that mindset for a little bit of time, because it's not worth staying in that, because you don't want to keep suffering. You want to have being in a flourishing zone rather than a suffering zone. So pull yourself out of it and think, you know what, I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm better than that. I'm worth having a good life, and I'm going to fight for a good life despite my limitations.
Well, you said that so eloquently, and I don't know if you know this, Nikki, but my audience knows this. I have cerebral palsy, which is a neuromuscular disability. I was born with it at birth, so yes, I have challenges in my life, but I try to stay on the sunny side to the best of my abilities. And so when people go into that woe is me moment, I feel for them, but I also try and pull them out. And so it's interesting that you say go rely on a friend when you're having a woe is me moment, or go look at a Dr. Wayne Dyer book, for example, just as a little inspiration in. But when you say go look at someone who inspires you, what do you mean by that? Go talk to a friend that inspires you, or go look for something on social media?
Anything that helps you. So a friend that inspires you or lifts you, someone who's supportive and encouraging, someone who helps you believe that anything's possible and makes you forget about your disability, makes you forget, you know what, I am worthy, I am special. But not so you can reach out to people who you know, but because you don't always have access to those people, they can't always be readily available at a moment's notice when you're feeling really low and you really need them. So you can go on social media, or you can listen to an inspiring podcast, or you can read an inspiring or empowering book, or if you're unable to read, because we're not all able to read, you can listen to an audio book. So whatever works for you, that's the thing. There's no one size fits all. There's a wealth of support out there, not just one-on-one support, and not everyone has one-on-one support. So whatever you personally have access to, whatever helps you. So audio books, physical books, podcasts, social media, or preferably one-on-one, because you get to look someone in the eye, and there's that, not just the generosity of spirit, but there's that connection. We all need to feel connected to people, and we need to feel supported physically as well as through technology.
Emotionally and spiritually too. And so, Nikki, before you started all this self-help junk, would you say you were in the corporate world, or did you just start this on a whim?
I've always been a positive person, and I've always been supportive of others. I think I've had it deep within me that I had the tools in me, but the problem was, for a long, long time, I lacked a feeling of worthiness myself. I lacked the self-belief that I was, capable, or I was, how do I put it? That I was, no, I'm not special. We all have gifts, but I didn't feel that I didn't have the feeling of power that whilst I can't change the world, I can help change a part of the world. I can make a difference to my part of the world. And I just felt like I was a nobody. Yes, I can help people. I can give them advice. I can give them support. I can encourage, promote a feeling of a generosity of spirit and volunteerism and philanthropy. And yes, I'm a good person deep down, but at the end of the day, I'm still a nobody. It took me a long time to get over that, to have the self-belief, the feeling of worthiness, and think, you know what, I am somebody and I'm going to help people. So I limited myself and they weren't realistic limitations. I didn't really have boundaries, but in my mind I had boundaries that, well, I'm not anyone important, so why should I start a business? Why should I, go out there and coach and get into the personal development sector? It took me a long time to have that self-belief and for me to learn to love myself and think, you know what, I want to make a difference. I want to set a good example for my children, and I want to help people in any way I can while I'm still alive. And it took me a long time to get there. So I wish I had started earlier, because I feel that I have so much to give, but I'm worried about, well, not worried, I won't say I'm worried. I just wish that I could have made a bigger difference. But anyway, I'm on the right path now, and I'm going to do everything that I can to help people.
Okay, you stopped me in my tracks right there. As most of you know, I'm going back to journalism school in the fall, and I have decided within the next 3 years to give up my day job and pursue my life calling, which is podcasting, motivational speaking, being a disabled advocate. And so I agree with Nikki. For the longest time, I thought no one would ever listen to me, but now I wish I started earlier on this journey. So Nikki, what is the biggest entrepreneurial success you've had, and what is the biggest entrepreneurial downfall you've had?
So my biggest achievement, which it still sounds really strange, I don't think it's even sunk in yet, and it happened a number of months ago, but somehow I have become an international Amazon best-selling author with my book. And I don't lack self-belief, but I still can't believe I'm a best-selling author. The hardest, most challenging part of my business is the fact that, because I feel that I've sort of started a bit later than I would have liked to, and there's so much I want to do and there's so much I want to achieve, I really feel like, and because I'm on purpose and I'm very passionate about what I do, I really find that for me personally, there's not enough hours in the day, and sleep is an inconvenient necessity. So that's a really hard thing.
Oh, but Nikki, you fall my heart. I wish I could function on 6 hours of sleep, but I can't. I need my 9 hours of sleep to be a functioning woman with cerebral palsy.
Yes. I get that.
Yeah, you get that. So you wish your biggest entrepreneurial downfall is not really a downfall. You just wish you started early than you did.
Yes.
And so, Nikki, what is your favorite book? It doesn't have to be a business-related book or a self-help book, or it can be. It just has to be a book that you go back to time and time again.
I love to read, and I have a number of books that I read at different stages of my life, and I go back and revisit. But the one that I really, I keep going back to again and again is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, because successful people have successful habits. And this book will tell you, this is what they do, because we're told in life, if we want success in one avenue or another, if we have a goal in mind, to replicate what those that have achieved what we're hoping to achieve. If we replicate what they do, then we'll find similar success. So this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this book tells you this is what those successful people do. So if you start doing it, you'll also start to see your life change. So when I sort of find that my life's getting stagnant and things are good, but I like to continue to progress, to be the best person, to be the best version of myself, to be better and better, and what else can I do, and how else can I contribute, and what else can I achieve? So I keep going back to that book.
So you keep going back to Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey, and you keep expanding on it. It teaches you different life lessons within that book. I'm hoping that my book, The Mosaic of CT, which will be coming out on Amazon, teaches you guys different life lessons every time you read it based on my life. And that's interesting that you say a book by Stephen Covey, Highly Successful People, teaches you different life lessons every time you read it.
Yes. And congratulations on your soon-to-be-released book.
Well, thank you. I'm already Amazon best-selling author, and I'm already Amazon best-selling author. I already have 8 books underneath my belt, and so this is just another present like that. But all with cerebral palsy too. And so, Nikki, what is your favorite podcast if you have one?
I listen to quite a few podcasts. I'd probably say my favorite one is Magic Lessons, and that's by Elizabeth Gilbert, who's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, because her podcast is full of gems of wisdom and it inspires me.
Definitely. I knew you were going to say that because I actually forgot she had a podcast, and she's a New York Times bestselling author, Eat, Pray, Love, and Big Magic as well. And of course, you can find her books and podcasts in your podcasting aggregator app and all that good stuff. And so, where can people find you, Nikki? And how can people get a hold of you if they want to work with you?
Certainly. So I have 2 websites. I have my author website and my business website. The first one being NikkiArnoldJP.com. So that's Nikki, Nikki, Arnold, ARNOLD, JP, short for Justice of the Peace.com. My business website is inspiredliving.international. I'm on Facebook under Nikki Arnold and Twitter, Nikki Arnold JP. If people would like to email me, my email address is nikki@inspiredliving.international.
Well, how cool is that? So people could find out more information on your website. And of course, we'll have all of Nikki's information in the show notes. You guys won't be hearing this episode until Monday if technology plays nicely with me and I could get it to my editor technology hasn't been necessarily playing nicely with me today. So you guys will probably hear this episode on Monday, which will be Nikki's Tuesday, because remember, she's in Australia. So, Nikki, before I let you go on with your day, I want to have you ask me a couple of questions that you have been interested in asking me.
You are very inspiring, and I want to know how you found your purpose and how you've managed to write so many books and be so positive and contribute so much when you're living with cerebral palsy, and that would be very challenging. Life is difficult enough as it is. You are amazing. You are inspiring. You have inspired me. And I'd love to know how you do what you do.
How I do what I do? How did I find my purpose? Well, I wrote my original autobiography at age 23 years old. I come a win. I'm now 30 years old. And it came out in October 2012. I wrote that after having a stop and smell the roses moment in 2010. And I wrote that book as a form of therapy after my stop and smell the roses moment. And that book not only, it hit Amazon's #1, believe it or not. And then complete strangers started asking me, how do you do all this? And what do you do with a disability? And how do you stay so positive? And all that good stuff. It went down the self-help well. And so I thought, okay, they opened up a can of worms, which now I need to close, or I need to expand on that can of worms. And I thought, okay, if I get on a podcasting mic one more time and explain I have cerebral palsy and do it by myself, people are going to tune me out and not listen to me. And so I thought, why not interview inspirational people like you, Nikki, and infuse my story with it. And it's got me success, and it's worked. And so I am super happy that I found my calling at age 23. It took me a couple years to truly figure out my calling, but I'm super happy that I found my calling and started the steps towards it at age 23.
You are truly amazing.
Well, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. When technology plays up on me, I feel like, why am I doing this podcast? But that's just me today, and technology didn't want to play nicely with me. So that's all of humans. So that was my bad day, and I'm like, I'm doing this podcast for people that cannot speak and in the disabled community. So that's why I'm doing this.
Well done.
Well, thank you. And do you have any other questions for me, or is that it?
I'm sitting here in awe. My mind's just racing. My goodness, I'm 43. You're 30. You've achieved so much. I'm actually feeling a little bit emotional over here in Australia. Oh, you are amazing. You are inspiring, and I'm so glad that I've connected with you.
Well, thank you. And to my Australian fans, I thank you, and I truly love the sport. I truly see my efforts paying off, and let's just make this world a better place and a less harmful place. Let's just make this world more peaceful. And how does that sound, Nikki, that we make this world more peaceful and get more people involved in self-help with you and all that good stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode. This podcast has been sponsored by Grace by Grit. Grace by Grit is a clothing line out of California in the U.S., but they can give you 20% off if you type the code EXO Butterflies at checkout, and all that information will be in the show notes. And I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of Butterflies of Wisdom. Thanks to you guys.